toward the north. And that is the problem for the western Hawaiian Islands. It's making a beeline for Kauai right now, 80 miles south-southwest of Lihue. Winds are up to 145 miles an hour, moving north at 17 miles an hour, which should take it over the island of Kauai by dark. Pressure 27.85 inches of mercury. As far as our conditions go, we do have a hurricane warning in effect in those islands. Kauai, Niihau, and also Oahu, a hurricane warning is in effect. We now have a tropical storm warning in effect in Maui County, and that includes the islands of Maui, Lanai, and Molokai. Also a tropical storm or a hurricane watch is in effect west of Niihau all the way out to French Frigate Shoals. We are expecting a storm surge of up to 8 feet on Kauai, Niihau, and possibly Oahu. 30-foot waves of very high surf coming into the south and west sides of all the islands. We talked a while ago with Mel Nishihara, who is the Hurricane Program Manager for Hawaii Civil Defense. We asked him how people there are reacting to the storm.
We had a lot of people took, I guess, heed from what Andrew did in, Florida and Louisiana, and also Omar out in Guam. And people started going out and gassing up last evening, going out and buying their groceries last evening. There were some reports of some stores being out of, supplies as far as batteries and things. But people here seem to be taking the storm very seriously in terms of preparing for it.
We're now back with our hurricane expert, John Hope. There you see the visible picture, the best picture we have of Hurricane Iniki right now, and the map of the islands as it makes a beeline for the western side of the Hawaiian Islands, Niihau and Kauai. John Hope.
Well, you can see Niihau here, and here's Kauai, and the eye is headed very much in that general direction. It will either go right over Kauai or very, very close to it, and that's going to put Oahu here with Honolulu and Pearl Harbor and so on, about 100 miles east of where the eye is. But still, they're already getting gale force winds on Oahu. We've seen those, and they will get hurricane force winds. But here on Kauai, it's just everything is just going to go downhill from now on. They should be getting hurricane force winds there, I think, within the next hour or so. And then the very worst part of this hurricane is going to hit them in about, say, 3 hours or something like that. Top winds now up to 145 miles an hour, and that's a Category 4 hurricane. It's not a Category 5. There was a report, an erroneous report that came out and said the sustained winds are up to 165 miles an hour. That wasn't true. They have sent out a correction. Top winds 145 miles an hour. But believe me, that can be devastating and will be devastating.
John, what about across the Kauai Channel? Oahu, Honolulu, what are they going to get?
Well, they will certainly get gusts of wind up to hurricane force, no doubt about that, and maybe a little bit in excess of that. But they won't quite get the devastation that they'll get where this eye crosses. We saw in Hurricane Andrew that there was a swath about 40 or 50 miles wide where everything was devastated. It's going to be the same thing here. Anybody that's not under the eye wall won't get it quite as bad. But you mentioned the storm surge and the waves, the high surf on top of them. I'm glad you did that, because 8 feet may be the storm surge, but now you add 30-foot waves on top of that, and these waves are going to be battering against all these low-lying places. So people have to be out of the way before the eye of that hurricane gets there.
Thanks a lot, John. There you have it. John will be with us through the evening, keeping us updated on dangerous Hurricane Iniki now approaching Hawaii. Now back to the studio.